Hi, I'm Sheena. I am a product marketer with Olivine, and I'm here to talk to you about personas. So, what are personas? Personas are representations of your real users, and they help you understand their experiences, their feelings, their behaviors, their pain points, and their goals. We believe that it's really important to humanize your personas. So, not just make them up in this generic way, but really understand who is this person? What matters to them both personally and professionally? And what kind of emotional experiences do they care about? One of the ways that we do that is with this template. So you could see here we have title and company, and then alongside that we have goals and objectives, pain points, a day in the life, and product use cases. You're welcome to use this template after you watch this to actually build out your personas. So this is what this looks like when it's all built out. We have a photo of a real person here. We have her name, Sarah Newton. She's 31 years old. Her title, so she's a senior software developer at Zeusk. And then you could take a look at her goals and objectives, her pain points, what it's like to be her, a day in the life, and then the use cases and benefits, which really dig into what's the benefit of the product for this person specifically. What we have found is that personas provide a shared language. So it's a great way for different pieces of the organization to really understand who they're selling to and who they're building product for and who they're marketing for. And what we've witnessed is that when you're able to successfully really build out your personas, you're able to inform product in a much more impactful way. You're able to make more informed marketing, design, and sales decisions as well. And so doing a personas exercise like this and using the sort of templates that we're presenting here really enable this sort of alignment across your business. I'm just going to move myself out of the way here. So some of the common persona pitfalls that we see are when they're vague. So a vague persona, when it's not really fleshed out in this personal way, it's hard to connect to. It's really hard to build empathy for this vague generic persona. So it's important to really get in there and make it human, like we had shared earlier. Another thing that we've seen happen is people do persona work, but then the rollout to the rest of the team is done in a really siloed way. I think it's super important to get everybody on the same page at the same time. So if you decide to do persona work and you want to share it out with the business, you might want to consider doing it in more of a big group setting so that product's there, marketing's there, sales there, and everybody gets on the same page together. And then finally, personas don't work really well when they're super long. So detail is important, but it's really great to think about the right details so that this is digestible and so that people feel like they can take action on it. So we talked about some of these areas of the business, but where do you use personas? So obviously, they're really important to product. So they could help ideate and innovate when it comes to solving real user problems. They're also really helpful when you think about the roadmap and how you want to prioritize that roadmap. What features do you want to build, and who are the target personas that you're building it for? Marketing, obviously. So pricing and packaging comes to mind. Also creating copy for your website. Personas obviously come in handy there. And then we'll take a look at an example at the end of this, but really creating landing pages that speak to your buyer personas. So we'll actually take a look. It's the last thing we'll do in this presentation today is take a look at Loom's example of how they've used personas for their landing pages. And finally, crafting targeted ads. So if you don't know who you're targeting, then it's really hard to create targeted ads. And then sales. So, sales obviously is speaking to your core customers, your core personas. And so it's helpful for them to understand what's important to these people so that they know how to speak to them. It also really helps to understand buyer maps and journeys, which come from personas work, and obviously creating sales collateral designed specifically for core personas. So what is a buyer versus a user persona? In software, both are equally as important. But to put it really simply, buyers sign the checks while users get your product in the door. And you really need to understand both, right? Because you're speaking to both. So what are the behaviors? What do they want? And how can you sell effectively within these targeted organizations? And then the next piece is proto versus validated. So proto persona is who you think your users are, along with any assumptions that you have for their pain points, motivations, and use cases of your product. And then a validated persona is who you know you have. And so, you might do this proto persona work and then validate if these are actual pain points, goals, and objectives that your customers have that you're able to actually speak to. So this is our example of how Loom has actually used personas. And so let's take a look here, and then we'll leave it to you to go create these on your own. So you can see here, we've got the Loom brand, and they have 3 different use cases listed here. So they have engineering, they have sales, and they have recruiting. And this is on their website. And so these are 3 personas that they're actually speaking to. And so it's clear that they've done some persona work. So if we double click into engineering, we get this web page, and you could see that it's directly speaking to engineers. And so in order to actually create this, they had to really think about what's important to engineers when using Loom. And so this is just a great example of how persona work actually comes to life, how it lives on a website. And for more examples, feel free to take a look at our blog posts that we've tied into this presentation along with our deck. Thanks. Bye.